Welcome to Life at Home. Once again, we want to look at the various principles as well as ways that we can enhance the marriages, families that are pursuing the journey here on earth. I'm your host, Dr. Eugene Franch, and I'm here to share with you what God has laid on my heart to strengthen the families in a unique way, to strengthen them in two key areas, and that is in the area of love. For families ultimately cannot survive without love. And the other area is in relationships. We are creatures of relationships. Our presentation today is focused around laws. And I want to speak about laws of marriage. It may seem unique. How can we have laws of marriage? And yet marriage is all about love. It is true that whenever there is love, there needs to be some type of guidelines, laws, if you can call it. There are so many books on making marriages work that one can't keep up in the bookshops reading all of them. If marriage is centered around love, then the question that I ask is, why do we need the rules? Well, God's word gives us an answer. For the Bible says that God is love, and at the same time, God said to the human race, here are 10 commandments to help us understand how we could love Him better and how we could love our fellow man better. But these laws today are unique laws that function around the relationship of husband and wife. And from the vast array of material, I want to share with you 6 basic laws, if you can call it, that can enhance your marital relationship as a couple, as a husband and wife with children, or just newly married. Let's go to the first law and see what it has for us. Law number 1 is an interesting one. Meet your spouse's needs as you would want your spouse to meet yours. We cannot emphasize the fact that we are creatures that have needs. And the first law is in a marriage relationship, not to seek your pleasure first, but to seek your spouse's pleasure first. And that has to do with needs. For needs in a relationship are very important. Meeting needs is critical in a marriage. And so we need to understand that both husband and wife have unique needs that are different. I've mentioned before that we marry for need satisfaction. In fact, when you look at life today, when you look at God's creatures today, when you look at the human race, you begin to find out that the design of something determines its needs. And so the needs of man and the needs of woman are crucial. They are different, and yet, even in a marriage relationship, they need to be understood clearly. What are your needs as a husband? Do you know? What are your key needs as a wife? Do you know? In a marriage relationship, so many times we are focusing our energies and our strengths on things in the marriage that don't really matter. But when it comes to fulfilling needs, now that is a crucial area. And so needs are important. The key principle in marriage is to remember we marry for need satisfaction. And you may ask, what are the needs? What are they concerning husband? What are they concerning wife? Well, we need to understand as we look at the male man, the husband in the marriage, his unique needs are such that every wife needs to understand. Let me give you just 3 unique needs that many authors today are actually focusing on. There's actually 5, but we want to just look at 3 unique needs of the husband and 3 major unique needs of the wife. The first unique need of a husband is respect. Many wives do not understand that many husbands need respect in their life. It is a male thing, it's a male ego thing. We have such a personality that respect is crucial for a man, whether you're married or single, but more so in the marriage relationship. A man needs respect. Respect almost every day in the home, at work, at play. Respect is a crucial thing that we men grow from, that we men feel that we are somebody in life when respect is shown to us. How can a loving wife show respect to her husband? In 3 areas. in his appearance, in his abilities, as well as in his character traits. When you think about it, a man needs respect by showing admiration in those three areas. Admiration in his appearance. After all, you married him because what you saw, you liked. And you know that love comes in different forms. The eye is unique. It sees love in different ways. But when it comes to a man needs admiration for his appearance. So wives, understand this. Where you can constantly show admiration in the appearance of your man when he's looking good on certain days, because you know us men, it's hard every day to look excellent. But on those days where he pays special time and takes special effort to look good, notice it, admire him, comment, and let him know that he is your man. Men love to be told that they're still looking handsome. Yes, they need to be told on their appearance. That's showing respect to your husband. The other area that you can show admiration is in the area of abilities. When you think of the abilities of a man, of what he brings to the marriage, many wives take for granted the skills that he brings into the marriage, the actual profession that he has in order to put food on the table through work. But a wise wife will constantly remind her husband and fuss over the abilities of what he brings and the skills into the marriage relationship. Many men work hard for a career. They spend many years trying to learn something in which they could specialize in, and that's concerning the abilities. What's your husband's abilities? Have you ever sat down? Have you ever commented while passing, "Hubby, I'm so grateful that you're so good in this area. That's why I married you. You're my man." Every man, when told these things, will stand taller because it shows respect. The third area of showing admiration, that is respect to your husband's wives, is in the area of character traits. Every man has a character. We all have different characters. You married your husband not only because of how he looked, but mainly because of his character. Have you ever told him what you love about his character? Have you ever sat down with him and commented to say, "Sweetheart, I love you because this is the way you are. You are unique from all other men." And I want to assure you, wives out there, that when you take time to meet the fundamental need of a man, which is respect, found in three areas: admiring his appearance, admiring the abilities and skills that he has, admiring his character traits, you are on the road to getting him to fulfill his best. When a man is told these things and shown this respect, he will do almost anything for you in the home and at any time. The second need of the man in the home is in the area of, if I can call it, recreational companionship. It is unique to know that men love recreation. It's almost like competition. We have a built-in desire to get engaged in sports where we can. And when we engage in it, we always want to be the best. We always want to be on the winning team. We always want to be up there as number one. We have a passion in challenge when it comes to sport. It is something in every male man. That's why many men today love sports. They love to be the winning team. And I wonder, does your man have recreational companionship? Do you show some interest of acknowledging him that it's okay to be passionate in this area that you love concerning recreation? An ideal couple, and even husbands out there, even though you may be passionate about sports, and many of us may be passionate about football, you need to remember one thing. Engage your spouse into it. Find ways in which you can get her to love the sport you're in. Better yet, find a recreation where both of you can engage in and where both of you can enjoy the play so that both of you can benefit in a healthy way. But many men love recreational companionship and also the support that comes with it. You know, many women say that they don't love soccer. And yet it is a big thing to many, many men. And around the world, many of us love the sports channel and also especially soccer. And one young man realized that his wife, early in marriage, did not really enjoy soccer. She hated it. She had no interest in it. And he wanted to get her to at least take an interest in it. And so what he did, he went and he studied every soccer player on his team, the unique traits that they had, the marriage that they had, and he began to find out this one's married, this one's wife is giving birth soon, this man is on the point of divorce, this guy's not married, but hey, did you know he's got 2 girlfriends? And he began to look at the personal lives of his soccer players on his team. And as he was watching soccer, he invited his wife to sit with him. And he says, wife, come and watch. Do you see this team, the color red? I want to show you the guys that I love. And as he pointed out each player while they were playing, he was telling her in a relationship way what each player had in their private life and what was interesting about it. You see that goalkeeper over there? Well, his wife's almost giving birth to twins. Yeah. And so she's not happy that he's away all the time. And do you see this other player here? Did you know that his marriage is in trouble? And this other player here, did you know that his kids are on the point of even going to university? He's an old player. Yeah. And suddenly the wife now began to take an interest in soccer. Not on the game itself, but on the private lives of those players. And whenever she saw that soccer team, she reminded the husband on the personal lifestyle of the unique soccer players that he took time to find out and get her interested in it. Recreational companionship is one of truly the most beautiful areas that a couple could spend together. In a man, it's a passion. It is competition. But spending time in the area of recreational companionship is a benefit to both husband and wife. The third key need of a husband is an area that's very sensitive, and yet many, many couples do not know. And that is in the area that a man's need is to be sexually fulfilled in the marriage relationship. Men are designed by God to be fulfilled often in the marriage relationship when it comes to sexual love and intimacy. This is one area that boosts his ego. And many a wife may not understand how crucial and how critical this area is in the life of a man. These needs are ultimately fundamental in the life of a man. When a woman takes time to meet the needs of her man, her husband, she will be on the road to establishing a closer bond between her and with him as well. When we look at the Bible gives us a Bible text. It says in Romans 12, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor, giving preference to one another. Just as a man has unique needs, and I mentioned 3 unique ones of theirs, the woman also has 3 unique marital needs in her life. And if many a husband would take time to find out what are the needs of her, he would be on the way to a happy married life. Let's look at the woman briefly and find out what are the 3 top needs of a woman. We begin to find out that the most serious need of any woman in a marital relationship, and even when she's single, because she is a female, she's a woman, is the area of affection. Affection is a key area that many women need in their life. In fact, affection is something that helps a woman continue to be beautiful. It helps a woman to bring out the beauty in her, as if a flower receiving water after a long time. Many men suffer with this area of showing constant affection to their wives throughout marriage. While they were dating, this is one area in which he was passionate about, showing affection to her, telling her how lovely she looks, explaining to her that her smile is beautiful, helping her to know that he is interested in her and he likes what he hears, he loves what he sees, and even the voice he finds is sweet and loving. He comments to her. He is giving affection. He'll take her out on a date. He'll spend half his paycheck financially just trying to show tangible means of affection to his sweetheart. But the minute they get married, after a month or two, this vital area of affection seems to dry up, and the woman begins to wither like a flower because she needs this element of affection. Affection to a woman suggests these words. It suggests the area of security. I'm safe in my husband's arms. Affection symbolizes protection. It symbolizes comfort between her husband and her. It also symbolizes approval in a key way. 4 hugs a day are necessary for survival, 8 for maintenance, and 12 for growth. You know, a hug is one area that tells us that I am loved. Even when a wife hugs a husband, but more so when the husband just hugs his wife, it's a sign to say, wife, you're special. Honey, I still love you. I care for you. That sign alone is showing affection. Many a husband can build up his wife's emotional bank just by focusing on this one area, affection, daily assuring her in many ways that she's still okay, that he cares for her. In fact, it has been said that affection is the cement of a relationship with your wife. Now, when you think of cement, what is it? What is the glue that really sticks? It's affection. Concerning women, affection is the environment of a relationship with your wife. We can go further by saying these words, that affection is the environment of marriage, where sexual intimacy is the event. We begin to find out the environment to the event is affection. You know, I found many frustrated wives and husbands in many marriages, and when asked and counseled clearly, we find out one thing. Listen up here. When your marriage is struggling, look for the missing element, husbands. And that missing element could be affection. For when a woman receives enough affection, she'll be willing to give sexual intimacy to her husband. Another need of a woman is the area of conversation. How many times women tell us that it's hard to communicate with their husbands. They don't just talk enough. Well, that's because he's a man and she's a woman. And when it comes to communication, many men don't realize that a woman can strengthen her marriage contact with her husband and even build a marriage stronger when he takes time to commune with her more often. It is a fact that women love conversation. It is a fact that women love talking. And men talk briefly, where women, they talk in detail. These differences help us to see something. A woman daily needs to express what she feels, what she hears, and what's happening around her in the area of conversation. And this is one need that many husbands seem to neglect. Throughout the day, they hardly have communication with their wives. When they come back home, the husbands would rather just go sit on the couch, switch on the telly, and just greet the wife in the minimum of words. And yet the wife wants to talk. What happened? Oh, my day was good. And he keeps quiet. That's not enough. She wants to know, tell me more. What made your day good? Conversation is a key need in a woman's life. Another area that many women need in their lives is the area of honesty and openness. And ultimately, this is the fault of many men. Many men in marriages are not too honest and not too open, but they seem to hide behind these two areas. A woman loves her man, her husband, to be honest in life, in the marriage, and open to share how he feels. For many men are closed up. We don't share our feelings. And because of that, we're liable not to be too honest. A key need of a wife is to have that in a key way. Honesty and openness. As we go to Law 3, we find that this continues. Law 3 says this this command, if you want to call it, caring partners converse in a caring way. That's interesting. Conversation is what we're speaking about. Conversation. A woman loves conversation. She needs conversation and must focus on the events of the day, the people that she's met, the people that she's encountered, and most of all, how does she feel about the people and the events? These are conversation areas that are important. Remember the rule, caring partners converse, in other words, talk in a caring way. And this is what I want to say to a husband. When husbands meet the needs for daily conversation, he's enhancing her womanhood. The feeling level of conversation is needed. Women are relationship oriented. And so when it comes to conversation, this is important. Converse in a caring way. The Bible has something for us. In fact, from Solomon, this is what he says in the Bible. He says these words here: a word fitly spoken in due season is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. How important it is that as husband and wives talk to each other, the word caring is the fundamental word there as a rule. Talk in a caring way, in a loving way, so that you can be understood and not misrepresented. The fourth law of marriage, if I can call it that, is the law that says these words: the couple that plays together will stay together. And how true that is. Again, we're coming back to recreation. But how true it is, yes, that recreation is important. We need to listen to each other as husband and wife. Find out from each partner what they enjoy in the areas of recreation. Try to at least be there, even if you don't engage in it, to support him or her in it. And in that way, you are still together. This is a fundamental law. A couple that plays together ultimately will stay together. And so it is even with the children. It is no good raising up children, and many times when they are at different sport games or different recreational activities, you are not there as father and mother. I want to say this: togetherness is a key thing in a marriage. A family, a husband and wife that plays together, and even parent and child that finds means of conversing together, will cement the family relationship in a big way. That's the fourth rule. The couple that plays together will stay together. So try and engage in those activities that you both enjoy, and you'll find that this law can enhance your marriage relationship. The last law of marriage is this: honesty is the best marriage insurance policy. Honesty is the best marriage insurance policy. What do we mean by this? Well, it is true that this falls in the hands of the husband. Many husbands have a hard time in being honest. Many husbands have a hard time in telling the wife honestly how things are. In fact, I've read in books here that there's 3 kinds of husbands who tell lies. 3 lying husbands. The first one is the born liar. This type of husband, and mostly men engage in this a lot in a marriage, most husbands like this, called the born liar, are those that have lied from an early age. And constantly they are lying throughout their childhood, their teenage and young adulthood, and even in marriage. They just lie naturally, and you can pick it up. You can catch the born liar easily by simply doing one little thing, and that is to check up on what he's saying. And if he's a born liar, you'll find out that never happened. He didn't go there. He didn't do that. The second type of lying husband is the avoid trouble liar. He tells a lie to avoid trouble and tells himself, well, he only will lie when there's trouble that is looming. That again is a dangerous type of man. And then you get the third type of liar among men, and that's the protector liar. Some men will lie because they feel they want to protect the wife. Some men lie because they feel if they tell the truth, it may be too dramatic, it may be too deep for the wife to cope, and so they'll tell a white lie trying to protect her. All three are not the safe. That's why a wife appreciates honesty and openness in a marriage relationship. And so there we have it. 6 key rules. The sixth one, the sixth and last law of marriage is interesting. It's for the men. An attractive woman is made and not born. That's the law. Many men go out and think that if only I can find an attractive wife, they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But this law holds true, and men need to hear it clearly, and even women, but more so men. An attractive woman is made and not born. You see, the basic needs of a wife is to be attractive. She longs to be attractive for her husband. And so husbands, take time. Take time to ensure that your wife can become attractive as much as possible. And wives, you too need to remember that you need to look attractive as much as possible. For many men are visual. They come home from a long, tiring day. They'd like to see somehow an attractive woman. They are surrounded throughout the day by attractive secretaries and women in the office, only to come home and still find the wife in her morning gown and curlers still in her hair with the baby all messing all over her. I want to say, wives and even husbands, this is a fundamental law. An attractive woman is made and not born. And so husbands, take time. Take time to dress up your wife. Take time to make your wife look attractive, because that is a fundamental law that can enhance any marriage relationship. Did you know attractiveness is what you do with what you have? No matter how little you have, you can still be attractive. Keep these rules in your home, in your marriage, and you will be successful. Amen.